Welcome to Prophetic Vision. Today we are dealing with an extraordinary topic and we would like your help. What is your idea of the afterlife? What's on the other side of the bridge? Is someone waiting for us? Someone we loved, lost, and want to be reunited with? Or is it our desire to feel safe that makes us hope and believe in an almost romantic conclusion in spite of a reality? Dark, sad, where there is nothing, life is over, the light is off, there is no music, no sound, no movement, nothing. Or will we take a new form, reincarnate, return more enlightened? Today we will dive into the visions of the afterlife present in the main world religions: Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Shinto. On this journey, we will try to understand how different cultures interpret the after-death experience, a mystery that has fascinated humanity for centuries. Death, according to the Christian perspective, is not the final term, but rather the passage towards an eternal reality. Life after death is defined by the scriptures and characterized by distinctive principles. Death marks the boundary between earthly and afterlife. The Bible offers different perspectives on life after death. Christian hope is based on faith in Jesus Christ, the Redeemer, and his promise of eternal life. The Christian paradigm of the afterlife is centered on the resurrection of the dead. Belief in the resurrection is a pillar of Christian doctrine, underscoring the belief that at the end of time, mortal bodies will be resurrected and transformed into an incorruptible form. This concept is clearly stated in the New Testament, especially in the Gospels and the epistles of St. Paul. The Christian vision of the afterlife is based on divine justice. According to the scriptures, all will be judged based on their actions on earth, and eternal destiny will be determined by this divine evaluation. The Bible offers a vision of heaven and hell as places of reward or punishment, reflecting the notion of just retribution. In the Christian afterlife, communion with God is the desired culmination. The vision of contemplating the divine presence, of living in eternal harmony with the Creator, represents the supreme promise of life after death. This heavenly vision is often depicted as a heavenly city or divine realm, where earthly pain and suffering will be completely absent. We cross the desert of Islamic beliefs, a place where souls subjected to the Day of Judgment face the most definitive test. The panorama is vast, dominated by the dunes of paradise and hell, both sources of hope and fear. In this perspective, the Quran becomes our guide through the labyrinth of the afterlife. The Islamic vision of the afterlife is imbued with a profound belief in divine balance and celestial justice. Every action, word and thought of a life is carefully weighed on the divine scales. The precision of this scale highlights the seriousness of the Day of Judgment, a time when the truth manifests itself in all its power. The Islamic perspective offers a detailed picture of how each individual will deal with the consequences of their actions. Souls are guided to their eternal destiny based on an accurate record. The vision of hell is not only a place of torment, but also a reflection of divine disapproval of those who have deviated from the right path. On the other hand, paradise is revealed as a garden of delights, a reward for those who have led a virtuous and devotional life. Here, rivers of honey and milk flow through lush gardens, offering an eternal haven of peace and bliss. We immerse ourselves in the tranquil expanses of Buddhism, a place where death is welcomed as a natural passage. Here, the afterlife is a delicate ballet of the soul, intertwined with the subtle threads of karma and the desire to reach nirvana, the supreme enlightenment. In Buddhism, death is seen as a transition moment in which the soul abandons the physical body to begin a new path. The cycle of reincarnation, known as samsara, presents us with a fascinating idea: each life is a chapter in the infinite book of existence, with death marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. Karma, the law of action and reaction, guides this journey through lifetimes. Actions performed in this life, positive or negative, influence the path of future lives. The search for nirvana, liberation from the cycle of reincarnation, becomes the ultimate goal. Here, the soul dances between the spheres of existence, trying to overcome desire and connection to the material world. Nirvana, the supreme spiritual realization, is achieved when the soul frees itself from all desires and reaches a state of eternal peace. It is like a final refuge, where individuality merges with the universal essence. The afterlife in Buddhism is not a physical place, but rather a state of mind, a harmony with the cosmos. Through this perspective, we learn that death is an opportunity for the soul to progress on its path to enlightenment. Each life is a step in the cosmic dance of existence, and death is simply a change of pace. The Buddhist vision offers a perspective of hope and acceptance, suggesting that the cycle of birth and death can lead to ultimate realization, nirvana, the culmination of every journey of the soul. We then climb the sacred mountains of Hinduism, where the peaks are lost among the clouds of myths and legends. In this realm of deities and epics, the afterlife is revealed through the endless cycle of rebirths, known as samsara. Each life is a piece in the intricate mosaic of existence, with the ultimate goal of achieving liberation, moksha. Hinduism teaches us that death is an integral part of the cycle of life and rebirth. Every existence is linked to actions, to karma, which shape the destiny of souls. Cremation, a common ritual, symbolizes the release of the physical body, allowing the soul to embark on its journey to a new incarnation. In this way, death becomes a bridge between two existences, a transition towards new opportunities for spiritual growth. Sacred texts such as the Bhagavad Gita offer invaluable guidance on how to face death wisely. Here, Lord Krishna talks about an eternal existence of the soul beyond the mortal body. Moksha, liberation from the cycle of reincarnation, represents the culmination of this spiritual quest, where the soul merges with the infinite. Through Hinduism, we realize that the afterlife is not simply a final destiny, but a continuous flow of cosmic energies. Death is the passage through which every soul approaches its true self, drawing new trajectories in the vast sky of existence. In this context, death is not a goodbye, but a goodbye to new possibilities for spiritual exploration. Continuing our journey, we immerse ourselves in the Eastern philosophies of Taoism. In this wisdom-filled path, death is seen as an integral part of the Great Tao, the cosmic flow. Taoism invites us to flow with the current of life, accepting the duality of yin and yang. Death, in this context, is a return to the Tao, a ritual embrace with the eternal cycle of nature. In Taoism, the concept of Wu Wei, the art of acting without acting, guides us through life and beyond death. The afterlife is not a distant destiny, but rather a continuation of natural flow. Here, the soul merges with the primordial essence, uniting with the eternal melody of the Tao. Through the ancient leaves of Taoism, we learn that death is not a farewell, but a return to the primordial source. Each life is a step in the great ballet of the Tao, and death is the transformation that completes the cycle. In accepting the natural rhythm of existence, Taoism teaches us that death is not the end, but rather a new beginning, a reunion with the eternal essence of the Tao. Continuing our journey, we immerse ourselves in the Eastern philosophies of Shintoism. This ancient Japanese way opens the doors to a world where death is intertwined with the sacredness of nature. At the heart of Shinto, spirits, called kami, reside in every element of creation, from rivers to mountains. Death, in this context, is a transition in which the soul unites with ancestral spirits, merging with the eternal beauty of nature. In Shinto, rituals and festivals celebrate the connection between the living and the dead. Every moment of daily life, every stone and tree, is imbued with spirituality. Death, therefore, is seen as a passage in which the soul joins the ancient kami, adding an eternal chapter to the history of nature. Through the silent shrines and sacred trees, we learn that death in Shinto is not a farewell, but a continuation of an existence that persists in divine forms. Life and death are intertwined like threads of sacred fabric, and daily ritual becomes a perpetual celebration of the interconnection between humanity and the divine. In this journey through the different religious and philosophical currents, common elements emerge that weave a delicate thread of connection between the various visions of the afterlife. These elements, like precious stones embedded in the fabric of humanity, reflect the search for meaning, hope, and consolation in the face of the mystery of death. Regardless of tradition, the afterlife is often considered a place of transformation, a passage to a new form of existence. Death is seen as a process of change and renewal, representing a continuity in our spiritual quest. Many traditions conceive of death as a fusion of the soul with nature or the divine. Whether through nature spirits in Shinto, union with the Tao in Taoism, or the return to the cosmic essence in Hinduism, death is seen as a process that dissolves the boundaries between the human and the sacred. Rites play a vital role in many traditions, acting as a bridge between the living and the dead. Whether cremation ceremonies in Hinduism, seasonal celebrations in Shinto, or ancestor veneration practices in various cultures, rituals are tangible expressions of reconnection and homage. The idea of divine justice permeates many beliefs about the afterlife. In many traditions, life after death is linked to the actions and choices made during earthly life. The search for redemption, for divine forgiveness, is a constant, suggesting that, even after death, there is room for transformation and reconciliation. Despite differing narratives, all traditions share an acceptance of the mystery surrounding death as an enigma beyond human understanding. These common elements between various religious traditions create a rich and complex web of reflections on life after death. Ultimately, regardless of the specific approach, they all seek to offer meaning, consolation, and hope in the face of the inevitable. In this fabric of belief, death can be seen not as an endpoint, but as a starting point for a journey beyond human understanding, where eternity and mystery dance together in the cosmic vastness.